Hey y'all, it's me, the Nosy Goddess, and I'm back, and we're getting into the business of escapes. LaTocha and Tamika, the sisters who rocked the show SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B. If you recall, back in 2023, there was a reality show with the groups SWV and Escape, showing us behind the scenes of them preparing for their upcoming tour. Well, it was the show we didn't know we needed because there was so much drama, especially between the sisters who supposedly started Escape in the first place, but they couldn't seem to get on the same page when it came to mostly money. It seems Tamika has finally come out with her own truths. She's always been, I guess you could call it, protective of her sister and her mother, so she never really wanted to throw them under the bus. But seems to me she's really putting the blame, and I think where it belongs, which is with their mother. So listen to what she has to say. She's here with her daughters, and it's really sad that they have to sit here and listen to their mother defend herself, and obviously knowing what's going on behind the scenes and being a part of it as being the granddaughters and the niece. And then following that, we'll get into Nene Leakes' interview with LaTocha, child. All right, let's get into it.
I've been protecting my sister forever. That's what I do. You protect the ones you love. She don't want to talk to me. She don't have a conversation with me. I called my mom. I said, Mom, I know you can make this happen. She and I need to sit down. She and I need to talk. Nothing. But when it's time to film a whole month later, it's okay to talk about it in front of camera. That's the wackest thing in the world. You don't do that to family. It's no way in the world that my two daughters are not talking and I'm going to let them walk around and not say nothing to each other. We're going to fix that. A week would not go by because that's the type of parenting that I do. But my mom was like, no. Then all of a sudden, a month later, my mom calls. She's like, your sister told her side of the story to the TV people. I'm like, first of all, they weren't even there to record what we talked about. So why are we talking about this on TV? No one in history can say I aired out any of my business, my family business, because I protect my family. But anyway, we get to the scene. This is my sister and I first time. Well, no, let's bag it up. Let's bag it up all the way up. Let's bag it up. In the interim of us doing this show, it was a Soul Train performance that we did, where all of us got the memo. Our stylist, me, Candy, and Tiny had the same stylist, so my sister wanted to have her own same stylist. Our stylist sent her stylist a picture of outfits that we were wearing, but she said she never got the memo. So she decided to wear green when she knew we was wearing cream. Like, even I had a cute little red dress. I could have been rebellious and wore my little red dress on the red carpet, but I was like, no, I'm going to be in tune with the other girls. So she got the memo. She went around telling people she didn't get the memo. We didn't care. We didn't care she wore the green dress. I thought she looked marvelous in the dress. Even on the set, I said, hey, sis. I said, you look so beautiful. You know what she did? Turned. Didn't say a word to me. So it was cool. But my mama said, oh, it was not the right time. She wasn't ready to talk to me. Like, what have I done so bad that you can't take a compliment? We are celebrating 30 years in this business. This was like a height of the night. And I was so happy to see her. Just like the first day we filmed, I was so happy to see her. In my heart of hearts, I knew at that moment me and her was going to just squash whatever the beef was, whatever she felt. She could say whatever I felt I could say. I really felt like we could squash the beef, but it didn't happen.
Now, I had to double check the date on this to see that it is recent, because I thought we heard some of this before. But like I said, Tamika was never one to really put any blame on their mother. I think the mother is the source of the problem. If you watch the show, it came out that I guess Tamika maybe have been the father's favorite, or he favored her in certain ways. And the mother sounds like she was jealous, and maybe LaTocha was too. It's just really crazy how a mother could treat her daughter in this way and treat the other daughter as if she can't do nothing wrong when she's clearly in the wrong. Nevertheless, let's move on to LaTocha talking to Nene Leakes on her new YouTube show.
So I just want to go over some of the comments that I received. One of the things that I received a few times from people where, Nene, you need to know your guests before you interview them. On the Nene Leak show, for the guests that I do not know, I want to get to know them. So I don't want to dig into their background or their history. And so LaTocha Scott was my interview that we're going to talk about today on the Nene Leak show. I did not know LaTocha. I met her once at a Housewives filming. So when we asked LaTocha to come over to the Nene Leak show, I wanted LaTocha to be able to tell her story. Whatever that looks like, tell your story. I knew very little. One of the things that some of you guys do not know about me is I do not watch TV. If I speak on most things,
So I guess she got a lot of criticism for this interview. I didn't see the whole interview. I just saw the clip that I'm about to show. And it seems to me when you're doing an interview, you do need to do research. You may not utilize the research within the interview itself. You may let them tell their story like she's saying, but you need to be able to know what's going on so you can ask the proper follow-up questions and make sure you're covering any gaps and things like that. You got to know who you're talking to. She just has a lot to learn, in my opinion. But let's look at a little clip of the interview itself.
Bother me the most is my sister.
Oh man.
Like that would be the most. I mean, these all of them are my sister, but my blood sister.
Yes.
That is the part to me. Like, have my back,
Man. Can you
like
imagine?
ride with me.
So, like,
Even ride with me when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I'm wrong, but still just work. If I'm wrong,
But the thing
even
is,
if you feel that, just work with me.
yeah, the thing is, I feel like, my sister and I were, people like, y'all are joined at the hip. I remember when we were about to do Understanding, the song was getting ready to come out, and she had gotten pregnant.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget, they were like, okay, we're going to kick her out.
Mhm.
That bothered me.
Yes.
I said,
Yes.
and even though I knew I was like, Tamika, we need to use, everybody was like, we use birth control. This is our first time. The world doesn't even know Xscape yet.
Yeah.
So you're going to forfeit all of this, and I felt away, but I couldn't give up on my sister. You know what I told them? She goes, I go.
Okay, it's interesting to me that LaTocha decides to go back and talk about how she saved her sister Tamika from not getting kicked out of the group, when the whole issue about her stealing money from her sister, her and her husband Rocky, stealing money was a big topic on the reality show, and this is more of an up-to-date conflict. She's not addressing any of that. She wants to go back and make herself look as if I saved my sister from getting kicked out the group, and she decided to get pregnant. And she is also sounding like she's saying she wishes her sister didn't have her child. And that's crazy to me. Nevertheless, I don't know if this is ever going to get put to bed. These stories have continued to come out. Like I said, the reality show was back in 2023. So either give us a new reality show and give us some updates as you heal through this, or shut the fuck up. I'm actually tired of hearing about it. I'm glad Tamika finally came out and spoke on the fact that her mom is wrong for not making sure that the two of them, she and her sister, worked things out and that things were handled fairly and properly. But to like have her daughter sitting there like that, it was a little awkward to me. I don't know. It was kind of strange, actually. So I don't know what this clip is actually from. It looks like it's a clip taken out of a live she might have done. I don't know why her daughters were sitting there. They really didn't have anything to offer, at least in the clip that I saw. And the faces that they were giving was, I don't want to be here. And I'm sure it was awkward. They're sitting there talking about their aunt and their grandmother. So very personal things. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, child. What do you think about Tamika and LaTocha? And LaTocha not even addressing the real of the real. Like, girl, did you pay your sister back that money? And why you lying in that song about leaving your husband when Tamika told us you still with the man? There is another post that I put up a couple months ago, I think, where LaTocha put out a new song. I think it's called Residuals. She said all this stuff in the song, and according to Tamika, half the stuff wasn't even true. So nevertheless, I'm done. That's all I got. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time. Bye.